Yes. Well, hello there, Future Innovators. So welcome to everyone who's watching live and who's watching this recording afterwards. You are now joining the open house for the Interactions and Masters program at the Estonian Academy of Arts. And today we have people joining us from over 20 countries across the globe. So I'm very excited to meet you all. I can see we have people from, of course, Estonia, but also Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nigeria, Turkey, Iran, Colombia, Nigeria, Philippines, Portugal, Hungary, India, Nepal, Chile, Venezuela, United States, and Slovenia, China, and the list goes on and on. So we have a very international crew here today, and I'm very happy to meet you all. So what's going to happen today? My name is Tanel. I'm the head of the Interactions and Curriculum, and I will start by giving a quick introduction to our program. And at the same time, one of our students, Rainer. Are you here, Rainer?
Yes, yes.
Yes. You don't have the camera on yet, though. But Rainer is going to give you a small tour of the building and later also going to talk about the program from the students' perspective. And then Nesli was also a faculty member, will join us, and we're going to answer some questions and answers. And also an alumni from last year, Nikoloz, is going to tell you, or we're going to have a small chat with Nikoloz and then see how the graduate perspective is to the program. And at the very end, we have time for questions and answers. So if you still have some unanswered questions, then you're free to ask, and we will give our best to try to answer them. All right, but then let's get going. And actually, Rainer, are you ready to start the tour?
Yeah, do you see me?
Yes.
My camera? Well, okay. It's fun because Zoom doesn't show me what I'm actually showing, so you'll just have to trust. But you're seeing the building, I hope.
We are seeing you right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Ciao. Yeah, that's me. Wait, let me switch. So, did it switch? No?
Yes.
Did the camera switch?
Nope, still seeing you. Yes, now it switched.
Oh, great. Sorry. Yeah, so this is what it would be like if you would enter ECA coming from the front door. And on the left, what do we see? It's the design showcase. And I'm gonna come here first. So they do this every year, bringing some works from the design faculty students. There is everything from product design, graphic design, social design, and also our favorite interaction design. Some of the works are here. These are from the Team 2024 students. They work together with the Tallinn city government and their digital twin program. And here are just some of these two projects: creating empathy-driven accessibility through Tallinn's digital twin. And we have also one from my very own Trial Blossom project up here. And this was actually just from last autumn. We worked together with the Team PerMed, which is the Center of Personalized Medicine in Estonia. They're undergoing a big transformation in Estonian healthcare to bring personalized medicine. And perhaps I'll just continue on from here. Very close by, we have some workshops. For example, the woodworking shop. Oops. So the woodworking shop is one where you might also actually. Oh, Hey, Tanel, your card isn't working here.
No.
Maybe mine will. Probably not.
Try yours.
No. Okay, never mind. Let's see what else we can find. It's also dark in there, so I can't even show you through the door. But for example, we also have, we don't end up in the metal working shop too often, but everything in the school will be like accessible to you. All these workshops have people working there, like not supervisors. Yeah, who can like, if you show interest, they are super happy to help you with everything. And yeah, we specifically have the tangible design course where the whole point is to just build and prototype and create like real high fidelity works in the end. And yeah, we definitely spent a lot of time in the woodworking shop for that. But now you saw the metalworking shop.
All right. Cool.
In the meantime,
Mhm. All right, Rainer, thank you so much. And let's then continue, and I will then tell you a bit about what we are doing here. So let's start by zooming out. And our master's program was established in 2016, so it's quite a new program in Tallinn, Estonia. And Estonia is this really, really tiny country here in Northern Europe. We only have 1.4 million people living here. But being such a small and new country has actually helped us to be very agile and very progressive. So nowadays we have been dubbed as the first digital nation in the world, or the Silicon Valley of Europe. We have the most startups per capita. The internet has been declared as a basic human rights, and we have also been voting online since 2005. 2005, yeah. And yeah, of course, we are also living in a, let's say, geopolitically fragile environment right now, but we are still feeling really safe here. And if there were any reasons not to feel safe, then we would be learning about it far, far in advance. Our campus is then located in the capital of Estonia, in Tallinn, and we are very much in the city center. And Tallinn is really a city that has a mix of very old and very new. So we have a lot of heritage, like the UNESCO enlisted old town, and a lot of cutting edge technology happening and startups happening here as well. All in all, it's a very compact environment, which means that our school and our program as well is very well connected with the industry, with the design agencies, other universities, the public sector, and so on. And this is actually really, really important when you're studying design, because design is not something that happens in isolation. It is always connected with some kind of external theme. It is always meant to bring value to an external stakeholder of some kind. And that's how we study it as well. So the school, Estonian Academy of Arts, we just celebrated our 110th birthday last fall. So it's quite an old school. And design education kicked off in 1960 here. It is one of the 6 public universities here in Estonia. We have around 1,100 students, and we have this student to teacher ratio of 1:3, which means that first three students, there is 1 teacher, which means that it's a very, very individualized study and very personal study that you will get from here. And when you're joining ECA, then our program, then you wouldn't just join our program, but the whole school. So you will be part of this very inspirational environment where we have over 30 creative curricula on the BA level, MA level, and also PhD. And as you join our program, then you will have a chance to take part of courses from, I don't know, textile design, fashion design, graphic design, work together with blacksmiths, animators, sculptures, and so on. And we are also as a school partner to nearly 200 other schools across the globe. And we are part of many networks such as Cumulus, Sirius, Elia, and so on. So it's a very, very well-connected school and a very, very connected program inside that school. But now I see that Rainer is ready to take us to the next place. And you are muted as well, Rainer.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, so, well, you gotta be a bit quiet in the library, so I won't be, maybe I can whisper a little bit. But do a quick little show of the library here also. A very nice study space, to be honest. Here you can see. Okay, I'm gonna go back.
All right, so I'm going to continue. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
So now I'm going to tell you about interaction design. Interaction design, user experience design, service design, digital product design, strategic design, etc., etc. So there are a lot of those design disciplines that have emerged in the past 30 to 40 years. And from the outside, it's actually quite hard to understand, like where does one design area end and where does the other one start. Interaction design, then the field that we're studying here, the term was first coined in the beginning of 1990s by Bill Moggridge. And in the very beginning, interaction design was all about designing for the technology. So designing digital interfaces that would be useful, usable, and very desirable to use for the audience. And for the first, let's say, 20, 30 years, this was more or less the core of interaction design. It was meant for designing good technology. And at the very center of interaction design, the approach was this approach called human-centered design, which is the design approach that focuses on humans and human needs and human values. And as we explore those, we discover some kind of hidden problems. And based on those hidden problems, we can then find opportunities for innovative ideas and designs. But there is a very big but there. By only designing for human needs, designers have been, for many decades, creating more problems to the world than actually solutions. Because if you're designing for human needs, then humans always want more and more and more. They want it faster. And all of that comes with a very big price to the environment, to our communities, and so on. So already, like this quote from the 1970s shows that as designers, we have been responsible for screwing up our world for quite a long time. And really, this is not what we can teach you at the school anymore, can we? So we are now shifting our focus from human-centered to humanity-centered design. Because it turns out that the same kind of very analytical and creative approach that can be used to create good interfaces can also be used to create, let's say, effective social systems, inclusive services, effective physical products, even regenerative environments, and so on. And it is actually considered nowadays that designers, we actually have the obligation to use our skills to do something bigger and something better. Yep. So at the core of our studies, you will be learning human, and then after this, humanity-centered design. And not just learning, but by learning, we will also be creating the future. So we are kind of taking pieces of today's world, we are dismantling today's world, and we are putting those pieces together in a new way, and hopefully in a better way as well. Upon graduation, you might become an interaction designer. You might become an interface designer, service designer, strategic designer, user experience designer, design manager, innovation manager. There are many names. And if you go to our website, you can see actually what are the positions of our graduates, our alumni. We are stalking them and keeping the website and list up to date. So you can actually see that I would say 99% of our students are working as designers with a slightly different prefix to the designer title. But why do we still call it interaction design then? Well, because we focus on that aspect of design, that kind of human aspect of design and the aspect of interactions between different systems. Essentially, we can say that we are designing or dealing with how humans interact with the world around them. And we can present it on different levels. So first, let's say we have interactions with ourselves. We can design for how we as human beings understand and connect with ourselves, which is, especially nowadays, it's a very, very important skill to have. For example, one of our alumni, Yareni, for her graduation or degree project, as we call them, she designed a way how we can explore and tell stories about what we are dreaming about at night. And then she explored how that actually affects our daily lives. So basically, she learned about, she made her project about dreams, storytelling, and now she's actually pursuing her career as content designer at Finnair. Next, we have the interactions with other humans level. But before we get to that, I will give it over to Rainer again, as I see that Rainer has reached the rooftop.
I reached the rooftop, yeah. So I think you saw a nice picture of Tallinn beforehand, but I hope you hear me also. It's kind of windy, but it's beautiful snowy day. Sun is already setting. So this is one of the rooftop terraces that we have. And yeah, because quite like Thailand is a pretty small city in the context of the rest of the world. So it's in a fairly like central place. So we have the old town over there, and the city center is just next to it. And that guy is in this border between yeah, the old town and the peninsula there. Some ships, but we'll get a better view in the next terrace. Which is so much fun. So, all right.
Awesome, thank you. Let's get back to explaining what we do here. So first, we had interactions between ourselves, interactions with ourselves, let's say. Then we have interactions with other humans and other beings around us. We can design maybe some kind of technology, might be digital, might not be digital, that helps us to interact with other human beings. Nesli, who's also gonna be joining this stream soon. For her degree project, she designed this digital device, a smart ring, for people who are emotionally close to each other, but physically very distant. And later, she turned this theme into her doctoral project, graduated last year from that. So she's our first interaction designer with a PhD in Estonia. And now she's pursuing her career here in ECA as a faculty member of our program and also a PhD researcher. Next level, if we zoom out from humans, then we can design for interactions between different products and services that people are using. And this is, if you think about design, then this is what you wouldn't naturally think about first. One sec, Rainer.
No worries.
Helen, for her degree project, she designed a way how cardiology patients could become more informed and more active participants in the treatment process at the hospital. So basically, how patients use the service of getting care from the hospital. And now she's working at the same hospital where she made her degree project as the first service designer there. And we have 2 more levels left, but before we get there, I will give it over to Rainer.
So another wonderful terrace in Neka. And so you know, but the building used to be a sock factory, and it's fairly new actually. But yeah, this is probably my favorite terrace. Now it's a bit more cloudy, but it's the harbor and the sea there, and it's just you get some really nice sunsets here because the sun will set right over there. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on.
All right. Thank you. And from the sunset, we go to the next level of interactions, which is the interactions between systems. So if we zoom out even further, we can zoom out into complex systems, which actually consist of many different products and services. And then we can start figuring out and designing how humans interact with such systems and how maybe services inside those systems interact with each other. So as an example, Külliki, for her degree project, she mapped out the packaging system in Estonia. So basically, you know, we are dealing with a world where we have lots of ecological problems and a lot of packaging gets dumped into waste. So how could it kind of better this how can we kind of prevent this from happening? And she mapped out the whole system, how it works, what happens to the packages, where do the packages actually come from, and who are all the different stakeholders there, and so on and so on. And she figured out the pain point, and as a solution, she designed a packaging design guide for the Estonian companies. And this design guide has now been adopted, actually, and is kind of helping to change the big picture in Estonia. So we actually have better packages in shops now, thanks to her work. And Külliki is now working as a strategic designer at the Tallinn city government. And if you zoom out even further, so the last level of zoom out, then we can design for the interactions humans have with the non-man-made environment around us. So the nature. For example, Tatiana, for her degree project, explored the interface between life and death and explored how we can apply design thinking on creating with mycelium or mushrooms. And then came up with a very, very novel ideas and kind of applied design thinking in kind of this biology sphere. So it was a very, very interesting graduate project she made. And today, Tatiana is continuing her career as a PhD researcher at the University of Tartu. On the same level, on the same topic. So this is how we define interaction design. So as you can see, it's much more than just interactions between humans and technology, but we actually have a much broader understanding of the field. But of course, you can only focus on designing for technology as well, if that's something that you're really into. Now I would go into the how, but Rainer, do you want to share something before I go there?
I'll share, yes, but it seems they've done some sort of, maybe changed some of the door.
Okay, your camera is off.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the prototyping lab. I couldn't get in there right now either. So I'll see the textile department.
All right.
But
yeah, we have increased the security in the building recently, so might be.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of security thing.
Yeah.
But well, let's give it a shot. But we're on the 5th floor. Oh, perfect. I need the key card. And here we also have the fashion design department. Actually have many more rooms. This is just one of them.
Yep. And as you can see, it's all quite empty right now. That's because the semester has just started. And also it's quite late here, so I guess the students have already left the school. They usually stay overnight when the examination period is coming, but not at the beginning.
There were still some students there still. Let's see if the weaving studio we can access. I also really.
Probably
Oh,
not.
we can.
Works well. Very interesting.
So this is a really fun space in the building. Let me turn on the lights. It's quite fun because it exists in this corner, and we have a bunch of looms and.
Yeah, this is something that makes EKA quite special among other art schools in the world as well, which is that EKA has decided strategically to keep those very old craft-based design disciplines alive as well. So there's actually like weaving and there's like blacksmithing, and those kind of very old and traditional specialties are still alive and kicking in the school as well, next to the very modern ones.
Like bookbinding also is actually a very cool. They have a really big space for it because it's quite a traditional Estonian craft also. Very. Okay. Maybe I'll show you some classrooms next, but since they're a small walk, then I'll sign off again.
Right. Thanks. So I told you about how what interaction design is in our minds. So next I will tell you how we're actually teaching you that. So many people still to this day think that if they learn to use some kind of a tool, some kind of a program, then they consider themselves as designers. And there's a lot of discussion nowadays around this kind of production skill, learning to use some kind of tools and programs and AIs and whatever. And there is some truth to it. It is very much expected from a designer to be able to produce high quality content and to master this craft in every sense. But we in this program are really bad at teaching you programs. And the reason for that is that technology is advancing so fast that there is really no point in teaching a specific program to use, because maybe, let's say, by the time you finish school, it has already been deprecated and there is a much newer and much better tool available. So this also applies for different AI tools. So will you be learning about AI? Yes, definitely. We will actually make you use AI and make you kind of, use a lot of it. But this is also not what the program is about. Again, I think a new AI tool comes out every day, and there's really very hard to kind of keep track and just not point in kind of teaching it in a classroom setting. So is it about learning design methods then? That's another keyword. And this is my favorite slide, by the way, ever I have made. So we are getting a bit closer now. We do learn how to use methods, how to choose different methods, how to actually create your own design methods. But still, they are not the core of our program, because they are still, in the end, just tools. They are very necessary tools. But we have to be very, very mindful of, how we use them, when we use them, why we use them. And to be mindful of those things, we actually have to learn to think how designers think. And this brings us to the core of what we are teaching here, which is that we are developing your thinking skills, your worldview, how you actually approach problem solving. So basically, what can you actually do with design? And this becomes before any kind of skills, tools, methods, and all of that. Anyone can take an online course and learn some new tools, but you are coming to an university, to an academia, and you will come here to learn the craft and mindset of being a designer. And I see that Rainer is ready again.
Right, so here we have the one of our classrooms, actually, our main classroom. Wonderful C306. And yeah, I think when it comes to learning the skill sets of a designer, like you were talking about the tools, and I feel like at this point, this like table is like the best tool because it's like really like it's if the program has 10 to 12 students, then these seats are filled and you just bounce ideas off of each other, draw things on sticky notes, put them on the wall. Here, actually, between the semesters, it's been quite cleaned, but during the work time, you know, all these spaces are filled with, you know, different constraints, questions. What does success look like? And of course, just like shelves of, I can only say like very random results of previous prototypes, books that you can always use for inspiration. And yeah, I really like this classroom. It's a lot of fun being here.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, well, that's it. So I'll move on.
Perfect. Thank you. So we are teaching you, not actually teaching, but helping you to develop your thinking, your worldview, your approach to problem solving. And for this to happen, you need to kind of develop your confidence, your creative confidence. The confidence that you can make a difference in the world, that you can build a future, that you know the creative way of how to go about doing design. You know, it's the age-old Steve Jobs quote that, you know, if you look around in the room where you are right now, everything in this room is designed by someone, and this someone wasn't necessarily any smarter than you are. So it's the kind of having that kind of mindset that you can build the future and you kind of also know how to do it and have the tools for that. Design is all about creating the value for others, for stakeholders. And we can kind of show how it works. We can show how it works in this simple formula. So basically, we have what, maybe a product or a system. Then we have a how, which is how this product or system works, like the way of operation. And then we have the value that comes out from this product working in a specific way. And as we are doing this process, right, we kind of have to achieve some value somehow. So sometimes the how or the what is missing. So often designers or engineers, you know, they get this brief to start the working that, you know, there is some kind of a system that how things are working, and then we need to design like a new object that would fit into the system so that it would start providing value. So for example, there is a way of how to, I don't know, how a stool works, you know, it's the way of operating for a stool is like a surface that's specific height, you can sit on it, you know how it works, that's the way it operates. And then the value is that you can sit down, and then designer has a task to figure out what the object is it a stool, is it some kind of a couch, and so on. Another way or another situation is that we might get a brief where that's usually how it happens with designers or junior designers, is that they get a brief that, you know, build me a website, make me an app. And then they need to figure out how this app or website would work so that they will provide a certain kind of value. So it's quite straightforward way of thinking as well. But what we are actually dealing in school mostly is this situation where we have a lot of question marks. So we don't know what we are designing, and we don't know how it's going to work, but we know what kind of value it has to provide in the end. So this is the kind of thinking, or this is the kind of approach or logic that we are teaching or trying to grow into here in ECA. All right, Rainer, you have reached somewhere again.
Yeah, I've reached the offices of our wonderful faculty. I'm gonna walk over there in a second. Let me just switch the, there we go. It's a fun couch there, but okay. So we're currently on the 4th floor, and yeah, you can see interaction design stuff in this office. And here, who do we have? Nesli. Hello, Nesli. How are you doing? Yeah.
I'm watching the stream here.
Oh, nice. Oh, there's something there. There we go. Yeah, there's a really fun library of design books here that, you know, if you ask nicely, actually, the coffee machine, if you ask nicely, this is the hack. The best coffee in Eka, right here. All right. We'll be joining you soon, Tanel.
Great, looking forward. And I'm going to continue introducing how we work here. So how do we then teach you the designer mindset? How do we help you grow it? There are very many ways how to do design education. We could be academic, you know, do a lot of academic research. We could be practical, basically teach you the kind of method skills. No, that's vocational. We could be practical, which means that we could work on kind of, you know, real world problems. We could be vocational, which means that we could teach you some kind of skills, the craft of this design. Or we could be speculative, which would be that we could kind of imagine what the world should or could look like in the future and then do some decisions based on that. We have chosen to be between practical and speculative. The practical side, I will explain you in the next few slides. But basically it means that you will be working a lot with real world projects, real world industry partners, solving very practical problems. But you know, in a way, you will get a lot of that after your graduation as well. Hopefully at the end of your career. So we have also added this touch of speculation as well into our studies. And also the role of designers has shifted in recent years. So we are not only asked to solve problems anymore, but we are also actually asked to show the way forward a lot of times, to show how to innovate and how to build products and services and systems that would be future proof. And for this, we need this speculative approach as well. We are learning by doing. So just like you cannot learn to swim from reading books, you can also not learn how to become a designer by reading books. You develop your designer mindset, your confidence by doing and by experiencing doing it. So we will have very few academic lectures here in Eka. We will have some, and if you choose to, you can always, of course, attend more. But we mostly learn from experience, from doing projects. And this has, you know, been proven over and over again to be the most effective way to learn a new skill. So all our studies are studio-based, which means that in each project we set some kind of goals. We do the project, after which we share honest feedback and to each other and we reflect on how we're doing. And this kind of forms this core loop, the backbone of studies, which then guides our future development as well. And inside this space, you and only yourself are responsible for your own progress, which means that we could also define design as a specialty that's creating options to the world. We are creating, as designers, we are creating options that something might happen or might not happen. And with this program, we're also giving you the option. We are facilitating this experience where you could develop, and how much you use this option is up to you and you solely. So when you miss a class, then you don't say sorry to your teacher, but you actually maybe say sorry to yourself or your teammates. But inside this Yeah. And of course, you probably know that the situations that teach us the most are the situations where we have done something wrong, where we have failed. So our duty as the faculty in the school is to create this safe space for you. So we are saying that it's totally okay to fail in our program, in our projects, which means that you can, or you even have to get out of your own safe zone and you have to experiment. You have to try out new things, new approaches, and see how it goes and how they work, and sometimes also how they don't work. 12 of you will start this journey. And as we have here today visitors from all across the globe, then we also have students from very diverse backgrounds, both culturally and professionally. And this is made by design again, because in this environment where very different mindsets meet, we have the most opportunity for this new, very creative ideas to emerge. And on the flip side of the same coin, this situation also creates clashes, which means that you will have to learn how to manage conflicts, and you will have to learn how to work with very different people. So it really, really prepares you for the future work experience you're going to have. And it is very much real life based, which means that we work very closely together with the industry, with real life people, real life briefs. And each semester we'll be working with 1 or 2 industry partners at least. And over the years, we have gathered quite a nice list of partners, companies we have been working with. Maybe the most famous names here could be maybe Spotify. We have been doing graduation projects with Volvo. We have local telecoms, startups, a lot of with the public sector, the Tallinn city government, local hospitals, and so on. So we are doing a lot of collaboration with the entities outside the school. And yes, I will let the guys in a few moments. During your journey, you will meet 30 teachers, but we don't call them teachers, we actually call them mentors. And only about 5 of those mentors will be from DECA, from the faculty. All the others will be practitioners from the field, real-life experts from agencies, international universities, in-house designers from startups, big companies, etc., etc. And we only pick people who are very passionate about a specific topic to teach here in our program. So it's going to be also like a mutual learning experience for you're going to learn from your mentors, and they're also going to learn from you. And make no mistake, as you maybe understood by now, then studying in our program is quite hard. It is time consuming. It requires weekly efforts. It requires weekly time and resources to put into. But at the same time, we have built the schedule in a way that you can also work next to studying. So our courses are happening from Thursdays to Saturdays. And what you're doing during the rest of the week is totally up to you. We have had people who have been working full-time while studying, although this is not very advisable. It's quite hard, but doable. We have also had people who have been working full-time and raising children, and also at the same time driving into Tallinn from Tartu or Riga or any neighboring cities. So with proper time management, it's actually doable. I think, yeah, Nesli and Rainer, I will let them in a few moments. We have divided our studies into 4 semesters. And each semester has a different title or different theme, which we are focusing on this semester. So we are on the first year, we are focusing on kind of teaching you the basic designer mindset skills. So you'd have to, so that you would learn to think and act and to like designers do. And the first semester is empathize, where you will learn about doing research, building empathy, and asking the right questions. And the second semester, we call it build, where you will learn how to think by doing, and this kind of proactive mindset, and the prototyping mindset and things like that. And then in the second year, we teach you how to relate this new skill or mindset with the world outside ECA. So basically, this is the time when we ask you to ask yourself what kind of designer you want to become, what kind of a design field you want to focus on. Do you want to go into services, products, strategy? And then we have courses which are a bit more advanced, like we will be teaching or learning, doing projects around the social design, around working with emerging technologies, speculative design, and things like that. And of course, the studies finish with a degree project. So you choose your own topic or theme, and you'll be working for 1 semester by yourself with the help of supervisors and mentors on a theme or project that is close to your own heart and that's beneficial for your future. So this is more or less the very bird's eye overview of our program. So now I'm gonna give floor to Rainer in a few moments, but I suggest you to submit your application today and then see how it goes, and we will have the questions and answers soon as well, if you still have some questions unanswered. All right, but you can come in now. They have been waiting behind the door.
Oh, we already showed your setup, Tanel. It's very nice there.
I could become an influencer, I know.
Yeah, doing makeup tutorials.
All right, but
So, oh, I have to throw this. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah. Easy.
Charge this.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh,
the floor is yours.
it's mine. Wow. I can just move with arrows, right? All right. So hello. I'm not moving around anymore. I'll say a few words, I guess, about the experiences of being a student here so far. And yeah, as you can see, here is our wonderful team, team 2023. Then my course mates. I think it was around the beginning we went to an ice cream shop. So the first thing, especially in the first year, there's this fun extra part of the curriculum, which is the design challenges. So every week, one of the students prepares just a design challenge for the others, and it's really to teach or do anything fun, something that they're passionate about. And here you can see Marianna, who is big into bouldering, took us to her bouldering gym, where she was also like a bouldering coach. So it was really quite perfect. But I did a touch designer workshop. Others have done drawing classes, storytelling class, workshops. It's actually really fun. I've enjoyed those a lot in the first year. And in the second year, you can join those too. It's open to all the students. Next, yeah, this was our, so that was the first sort of serious project. We collaborated with the Estonian National Library, Rara. So next to us in Finland, we have a wonderful example of a crazy cool library, which is Oktay. And we took the boat there, and we're like, okay, we have this 2 hours on the boat. What can we do? So we got the conference room and gave some midway presentations about our research there on the boat. That was quite a fun thing. And then, yeah, just like a little day trip on one of the days to explore the Oktay library in Finland. Here there was one of my the project groups near the end of the first year, where we worked with 3 different startups, and this was the on the presentation of our research first phase. So we did a bunch of research, and actually Ryan, who's in the middle there in the black, actually went wild and made our project like research report into like an actual physical report. Yeah, don't be scared, but no, that was really, really cool, really fun surprise. It's always crazy how many like different talents end up together, like in each year, like people from film, people from graphic design, obviously from more technical backgrounds, like you never know actually. And a picture from this classroom where we're in now, Janeli giving a presentation. I don't even remember what this was for. This summer, we went for the first time with a small group to Ars Electronica, which, if you know, is a really big art, tech art, yeah, new media arts festival in Austria. And we went there for the first time, and we actually won. We got an honorable mention on the campus award, which is from the student teams. It's quite wild because we went for the first time. There's I think a few hundred other projects that were there, and yeah, we had Tanel also there, and students from the animation department collaborated with us. So we did this thing of building a physical device that's behind us with these 4 screens, and actually there were these animations that were layering on top of it. And yeah, very good that we had the tangible design before that. It was like, okay, all the skills we learned there like could go into full effect there. And of course, we have to mention, because just a week ago, we got back from an Erasmus mobility that we did to Chile, Santiago. And we actually, this is something that like students can do, and what then also we put together. So I was emailing different universities and professors, and in Santiago, Pablo was super happy to welcome us there. And so we put together a course. It was related to post-human designs. Earlier, you mentioned about human-centered design. This was the next step forward from there, working with all other living and actually non-human entities. And I mean, that was just really fun because, yeah, there's Erasmus support money to go and do this wildly different program. Such a great escape from the Estonian winter. Yeah, it was full summer there and mountainous. And I'll show a few more pictures. So the course was largely centered around this pit bull rescue shelter. These are pit bulls that are rescued from the street or even from more extreme conditions. And then they, because pit bulls have more of a negative stigma, then like actually this shelter could focus only on just taking in pit bulls, and they work with them a lot, and actually, you know, really work with them to, or should I say, like alleviate their anxieties and all these like actually like mental health issues that these dogs might have had that they have. And then what we were doing was prototyping these environmental enrichment devices for them, and this was just one of the tests of the prototype. Actually, was a very nice exercise in just empathy. It's so different to we've worked, you know, 2 years designing very heavily in a human-centered context, and then to break it apart and do design for non-humans was just really put such a different perspective on design. I really loved it. And I'll show a few more. This is climbing the mountain, Mount Kewe, in the city. And I think that's it. I don't know what you're seeing anymore. But okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will move the chairs. And then next up, we have alumni of our program joining us. So Nick, hi, are you here?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? At least some kind of good way? Or, yeah,
All right.
yep. Hello, everyone. My name is Nick, and I'm a graduate from team 2022. And yeah, it kind of feels very weird to be on this call, but not as someone who's applying, but as someone who already been through this 2 years and graduated and is now an old guy who was a part of this program and now has to explain to the newcomers what they're getting into. So yeah, first of all, I will say that if you apply, this will be one of the best decisions that you guys will ever make. Just because the people that you will interact with and the experience that you will have will be life-changing, and your mindset will shift 180 degrees. But I have to warn you guys, it doesn't matter what you expect from this program, it will be nothing like it, and it will be much, much better. I think that from my experience, what I would suggest to you guys is that think about your degree projects from the first day, because this 1.5 years will fly so fast that you won't be able to even blink. Just every day when you get a new experience in the class or outside, just maybe have this like question, how might I get this experience, and like, can I somehow create a project about this? So also main question that you guys have is, how might we? And when you're alone, the question will be, how might I? This will be like a curse. It will stay with you whole your life, and it will be something that you'll always ask yourself, or like, use everyday life. And also, I know it's cliche thing now for us as a designers, but double diamond. Double diamond is something that will be also part of your lifestyle. First, and the whole 2 years of this program is like a double diamond. First, you'll explore so many things, so many areas of design and human-centered design. Then you will see something that is a favorite, and like something that you like. You'll narrow down, and then you'll again explore on this like particular subject that interests you. When I was coming here, I was thinking that I would create something like this super cool project at the end of the course, something that would be like interactive, tangible, something that everyone would be like, wow, kind of thing. At the end, I created something completely different, but something that I'm satisfied with and will be forever. So yeah, this is like from my side, I would say. And also team 2022 was the first team who created this Erasmus program kind of thing. So we were the first ones. So sorry about that. And yeah, it's one of the great experiences as well. I would never imagine that by applying here, I would one day be in Japan, so like a ruler side of the Japan, and talk about Japanese people, about interaction design, loneliness, and how can us designers put some of our efforts to make it better for others. So yeah, this whole 2 years of experience, amazing. So yeah, that's from my side, I guess.
Awesome, Mika. Thank you so much. Maybe you want to quickly share, maybe, as you are the alumni, you have the perspective also of what happens after school. So You can quickly share a bit?
Yeah, of course. So after school, for me at least, was that my goals was to get more experience in the field and work with design agencies at least. So I got an internship in one of the interaction our course one of our courses. How to say? Agencies that is like friends of ours, Duke's agency, and I went through this like a 3 to 4 year months of yeah break. Yeah, I was there for like 3 or 4 months, and I was doing like a small project, and now I'm working with a company in Netherlands, is remotely with Otavio actually, and other alumni Sigmund. And yeah, for now, my plans are is to go back to Georgia, back and work from there as well. So it's very hectic, but very interesting because every experience gives you like a new kind of point of view of the field, and you learn more and more.
All right. So happy to hear that.
I think Nick can also help us answer the questions that we received in the chat, but maybe Nick, you can reflect a bit of the admissions experience you had, just to, because I think many of the audience that we have here are quite excited and curious about the admission process. So what do you recall from 2 years ago? How was it for you? Anything that you would like to share with?
Yes, the best advice that I can give people is just to be yourself. Don't try to be this like I know everything type of guy. The best way to be a designer, and also in like professional field, how to stand out is to be yourself. That's what gives us our niche, and that's what like that's how you can make people get like be interested in you and your like candidacy. That oh, this person has their own uniqueness, and they are not trying to be someone that they're not, So just be yourself, be completely chill. Admission people are super nice, super friendly, nothing to worry about. Don't do what I did when I was like having like a transcripts on my table, like 5 A4 papers and sticky notes all over my place, and like going through day and night. Nothing to worry about, and yeah, just go with the flow.
Yeah, I can say, Nick, like that was me, like the assignment. Okay, I did it. I had some pens nearby. I was like, okay, cool. And then the interview was the same. I'm just like, oh, now it's a talk, Didn't really like, you're right about that, being yourself, no need to go crazy. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. On the call I had, like, I think Nesli remembers my background was like full of sticky paper, and like I was like, okay, this question now I have to answer it like super nice because I have to prove something, So it's not healthy. So just yeah, take a moment, and yeah, all will be good.
Yes, thank you. And there was a question about the admission assignment as well. Well, we cannot give too many details because everyone has to have the fair chance and equal chance. But I guess, we can say that it's a small design task, and that's about it. We will limit time to a small design, like sort of a small design breakfast.
Yeah, I agree. And also with the assignment, what I will repeat myself, it's about your unique way of problem solving and how your unique mind can tackle this problem. That's the thing. I remember one of my classmates, she didn't had any prior design experience, and her assignment was sent on the Word document, for example, and how she made it like a story. So she concentrated on the storytelling and how she would tackle this problem. So that's her unique way of design thinking. So yeah, just, think outside the box.
Maybe you have some more specific questions, then you can ask if we can answer them or not. So you also had a chance to submit some questions to us beforehand. You signed up for the open house, and there was a question about the scholarship, graduate assistantships, and funding opportunities. Basically, we do not have like a scholarship program per se. There are some Estonian state scholarship opportunities. Many of our students are also using scholarships that are provided by their home country. So we just heard about the new scholarship for the students from the USA.
Yeah.
Who
are born in USA and who study in Estonia. There is a special scholarship for those people.
And we have also had students a lot from Latin American countries, and they have all used some kind of scholarship provided by their own country. So I would recommend to kind of look into that. There are some financial aid provided by the school, like if you need like some kind of social aid, but cannot really apply to the program expecting to get this social scholarship from the get-go. But this is more like if something should happen during your studies, financial aid to continue or finish your studies. You have some kind of opportunity.
We also have like small success-based scholarships, but it's not something to rely on to live off. It's more like to encourage students to continue being successful. So these are more like symbolic scholarships.
Yep, and we also actually from this year, now I remember, we actually have a new scholarship, which is also not a big amount of money, but it's something that helps, and this we give out to 1 or 2 best students we have in our program, and based on their contributions. And actually, Rainer was one to receive it just last week, so we have this as well now. But these are all kind of like they are not very big amounts of money. They help a bit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So
there's a question about language proficiency, but I think this is the question more related to the admissions. I think we don't want to say something wrong because these are super technical and detailed questions, and for that, admissions at artum.ee.
I just said more technical questions about your English language requirements, tests, and scores.
As I remember, when I was applying the ILTC and TOEFL, I did the TOEFL, so it was like a B2. So whatever for ILTC and for TOEFL, whatever is equivalent to B2 English, that's the thing that you want. Like the minimum is like B2 for admissions, as I remember.
And if you have got your previous experience in English, then this might also be a waiver for those. It depends on the country which you are coming from. Do you want to do the next one?
Yes. Are there opportunities to collaborate with industry partners or other departments? I think from the presentation of Tanel and for Rainer, we answered the question. That the answer is, of course, yes. That's at the core of our teaching mission. Philosophy and methodology. For us, it's very important to use real-life briefs, real-life humans, real-life animals to tackle specific issues or opportunity areas to design. And other departments, yes, we do collaborate with other departments, not as often as collaborating with industry partners, but for example, Ars Electronica, in the instance of Ars Electronica, with animation department, or you as an individual student, you could collaborate with other departments by visiting the workshops if you're interested.
And there is a specific amount of optional or elective courses you also have to take each semester, and these are usually for different departments and the programs, so you will have an opportunity to work with them.
There was a question about specific requirement for fields of the prior study for bachelor's degree, and I think we don't have any specific requirements from the bachelor's. Yeah.
Either is the better.
Yeah. For example, my bachelor's degree was in public administration and politics, so it doesn't really matter what's your bachelor's.
Yep.
Also, there was a question about seats limited for this program. Yes, I think we have 12 seats for this program.
Yep.
Yeah, also, if someone has done masters already and have working as well with 6 years study gap, can he apply? I think yes. Yeah, sure. No problem.
We have had people with PhDs watching this program.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
Can we work full-time or part-time alongside the study? You can work part-time, full-time, not recommended, but if you can pull it off, yeah, sure, why not?
I've been pulling it off, but it's a bit intense, I would say. I'm more lucky because my work was more lenient with me, but if it's like a, you know, hardcore, like you need to get in the 8 hours every day, then yeah, I would say don't go for it.
Yep. But as I said as well previously, then the school days are Thursdays. So, and Thursdays, Fridays, they are half days in the afternoon. So, then there's a question about career path that graduates typically pursue. And how does the program support job placement? That's also mentioned. I think it's something we can be proud of, which is that the vast majority of our students, our alumni, are working as designers. So they're working on the field they're studying in school. And they're really very, very various positions, like I mentioned. So we have people from service design to more kind of UI design. We have strategic designers. We have designers. We have product managers who are basically, you know, the kind of design leads in the company. So researchers. We have people from PhD, one sitting right next to me. So it really does depend where kind of, you know, what's your interest, what your interest is, what you want to do. We have also people who have gone into arts at the and become like artists. So very various.
And how do we support is mainly through the industry collaborations we have, because I think one of the main superpower of the program is the connections that you're making with other peers and also with industry partners. You make very interesting connections, and they can help you support you in your career path. Like Nick mentioned that he got an internship in our friend agency, or we also have portfolio classes where we aim for you to create or polish your designer's portfolio that would help you in the networking or job hunting process. So these are our support systems.
Can you share any common mistakes applicants make in their portfolios or interviews?
I think Nick already hinted a bit, like pretending to be someone else, because it becomes a bit obvious for us. And I think we can reveal that we are in the committee.
Yeah.
So we have been doing it for 2 years now. And
obvious mistake is that if you go to Wikipedia page about interaction design and copy paste the text from there, this is something which we like to we have had those cases before, so it's mentioning it. So just be yourself, and really, because we accept people from all different backgrounds, then this means that we are not testing your skills. We are actually testing how you think, how you do things. So yeah, and the best way to show that is to just be yourself.
Is it too much to mention about ChatGPT?
No,
you can mention, yeah.
I mean, at least, I mean, I imagine, I I heard this also from like other people working in universities that they're flooded now with ChatGPT written like motivation letters. I don't know if you take that.
Of course, but we changed it.
Yeah.
Now we don't
No.
ask.
Oh, you don't ask the.
We ask
Yeah, it's
motivational video.
yeah, true.
Because
Okay.
over the past years, not recently mainly, we have been receiving very similar letters that are obviously written with ChatGPT. All the buzzwords. It's like wow, and it's yeah. So we would we mainly we want to understand you, who you are, how do you work, why do you want to be here, what do you want to bring to the table. So if you just don't share all these information, that's a mistake, because then we won't be able to get to know you.
Yep. And it's very helpful if you kind of know what design is or what interaction is. So in your own head, you have your own version of the definition for the term. There is no right or wrong. I think we all have our own definitions for what design. We have some kind of understanding of where you're coming from. That's important.
There is that question, does the program only offer winter intake? Yes, we only have one intake per year.
Yeah. So the studies will start in September.
Can someone that already graduated the program can apply again? That's a question for me.
There are no rules against it. Well, in a way, this question actually does make a bit of sense because the program is developing very fast. No, it's only 6-7 years old, and we haven't had 2 years that would be exactly the same ever. So we are making changes, improving it, hopefully improving it year by year. So we are listening a lot to the student feedback constantly. We have workshops where we, at the end of the semester, courses where we ask for students' feedback, and it's constantly in progress. Also, as you know, the technology is improving, is moving on. Like I mentioned, what's happening in the world is changing a lot. So what the program is today is very, very different than what it was 6 years ago when it started. So in that sense, if you graduated maybe 3-4 years ago, then you would actually get a totally new program.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, and of course, alumni are always welcome back as mentors and supervisors. Only how to be part of the program.
Nice.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Let's see, we have a few more questions to present beforehand. It's something looked about yet.
One I think is good.
Okay.
We can clarify
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know this before.
Yeah. Course lists mandatory and elective amount of hours per week. So how do you?
I don't know. Yeah, that's honestly like it's pretty easy to fall into the vibe, because it's like the things you work on in class, they can be really like, it's really self-motivating. It's pretty easy to get into a thing of overworking actually. So I'd say it's actually good if if you apply and then that actually you can still take it easy and leave time for yourself. So that's why the amount of hours really varies. Like when I sort of figured it out, I had maybe less hours in the week, but still like the same results, because I'm more mentally rested. But in the beginning I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this and this, and like you can really, I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah. And it is really, really up to you how much you can and want to put into. So the minimum we kind of expect is kind of those 3 days per week, 3.5 days. And then there's homework between those as well. And how much you do that, but there is a lot of teamwork. I would say the majority of the program is actually we're working on projects in teams, and then it's how you actually make the agreement with your teammates, how much you're going to contribute throughout the process. So it varies, but yeah, we have also noticed that students tend to maybe take on a bit more than they can, but but luckily they they realized it after the first semester and make amendments. So it's already a bit more. It's a rabbit hole. It's a very interesting rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for like good reasons, actually. Though.
Motivational video. There's a question.
And the motivation video have some creativity to it, or a simpler format is more recommended. Of course.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
surprise us.
Prices, yeah.
But the thing is that I would highly recommend you to keep the questions that we proposed as prompt in mind. Be creative, but it should still tell us some kind of answers to those questions that we're expecting.
Okay. There was something about someone in a current full-time job. If I make it to the further stages of the admission process, asking interviews, will there be some flexibility in scheduling these events? Yes, definitely. So for the exam, basically, or the design assignment, then you be given 2 hours to do it. But when you actually do it, you will be given 2 days. And in those 2 days, you have to find 2 hours when you do the assignment. How to explain? So basically, you will send an email, already do it, and then automatically find the assignment. So, and the interview as well. And the interview time is given to you by your coordinator. And if it doesn't fit you, then you can just ping back her and say that maybe, or him, and just say that you need a different time and book something that suits. So yeah, it's next. So what is does the curricula allow for, so to speak, offline practices, researching, designing and crafting interactions with parents centered around IT? I hope I answered that during the presentation. So yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. So it's, again, reiterating, it's more kind of a beginner mindset, and what kind of a medium you apply this mindset to, that's up to you and your team.
And I do work with school projects, for example, design online training for teaching. Of course, but it depends on the course. It depends on the course brief, but it's not something that we're against or.
Yeah. So usually you have a brief at the beginning of a course, and then you have to follow the brief and do something with this brief. So this probably is not connected to your work. But there will be also courses where there isn't like a specific brief, and you can pick your own, theme that you want to work on, and then you can definitely connect this with your work. Degree project, for example. Maybe
the next question I can maybe one. It's about would I be able to get accepted without the field-related job experience? And can I use any of my artworks for the portfolio? The only interaction design related. So basically, yes, you are able to get accepted without the field related job experience, and majority of our students do not have that. As we already mentioned, we are accepting people from backgrounds and from education. So it's totally fine if you don't have any design field related job experience. It won't have any negative impact in your application. And when it comes to portfolio, we would highly recommend you to put whatever you find interesting for you, that showcases your personality, your work style, your creative thinking or creative doing. So we want to understand you as a person through your work. So it shouldn't be limited to interaction design. You're going to learn how to do that here. So we are more interested in who you are and what excites you. What do you do?
Yeah. And for the portfolio, we don't actually call it the portfolio, we call it the display of previous experience, which is a mouthful, but we changed the name away from portfolio because we know that many of you don't come from a creative background. So there's a lot of questions, what should I put in a portfolio? So basically with this document, then we just want to see how you have been working before. Kind of, what kind of position you were on, let's say, in your work, and then how did you solve problems there, or what kind of projects you worked on. Basically, so how did you solve problems in your career, like, or if you have some creative works, then of course throw them in there. So this, whatever that shows us how you have been. Yeah. Is there something else?
There's a question about post-secondary education in Colombia and if they can apply to a master's degree. Again, this is a question for the admissions at artum.eu because we don't want to do anything on these are specific.
There's a question in chat. Will the program introduce how to code for UX or incorporate graphics into the applications like human-computer interaction program?
Incorporate graphics. Oh, fun. I mean, no, right? Not necessarily. So, software is not in the focus for sure.
We do teach a bit of that.
Yeah.
We teach it in the context of electronics, so building electronics and working with Arduinos. Was it Python? That was.
Yeah,
or,
that was Python, and then of course, yeah, but it's like
basically we teach the kind of very basics of the programming so that you will know what it's about, and have a chat with the developer and they say we are talking about loops, then you would know what they're talking about. But you won't become a developer.
But yeah, it really depends. Like, yeah, this going back like to what was before, like some people join and they have like a lot of developer experience, and then you can just sort of, maybe you are the person in the team who is like then, you're building a prototype, as like a fully like digital thing. But yeah, maybe it's not necessary. Like you can take a fully like social design approach and be like, I hate technology, I don't need to incorporate it, and that's also totally valid and fine.
Yep. So yeah, and regarding graphics, well, we are working a lot with Figma.
Yeah.
But we're not working with Xcode or things like that. So that's up for tutorials. You don't have to come to academia for that.
Figma is the one thing I have, the one software I've learned so well.
Yeah. Yep. There was a question about how many total applications we get. Let's say the competition has stayed more or less the same throughout the years. Actually, it has grown actually over the years slowly, and we have around 4 to 5 people per one spot.
And we have 12 spots as we already mentioned.
Yeah, so you can do the math and calculate the total number from there. It's around there. Yeah, plus minus. All right, have we got the questions? Is something else you want to ask? Now is the perfect chance for that. The applications will be open until 3rd of March. But you can go to Dream Apply and just start filling out the forms already. Questions about the forms or not? Yeah.
And this recording will be available on YouTube, right?
Yes.
You will be able to rewatch it. For you then.
Yeah, and we'll send link to you as well. All right, but looks like then we are going to questions. So thank you so much, Rainer, for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And yep. And Nika, how does it feel to be a senior?
Strange. In my heart, I'm still a student, first year student. But yeah.
Oh, that's the Rainer mindset speaking. That's that's something we also want to grow when people do always stay and stay true to it.
Okay.
All right, then, but let's wrap it up then. And if you still have some questions, then IxD@arten.ee. With the more technical questions, it's the admissions@arten.ee addresses. Go and stalk our webpage. Go and stalk what our alumni have been up to, what they are doing, where they are working.
Both our Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah.
Our Instagram as well, and start thinking, if you're going to apply, then to which part of the world you would like to go to Erasmus.
Yeah.
You.
All right. Take care.
See you at the admissions.
Ciao.
Ciao.